What do smart people have in common in your opinion? A lot of people think that you are smart just because you were born that way. Some people, after all, make being smart look easy. Intelligence, on the other hand, is not a fixed trait. Instead, it is the ability to learn and stimulate your brain, which can change and get better over time. Smart people all have one thing in common. They are committed to habits that help and protect their mental health. When you look at successful entrepreneurs and academics who got to the top of their fields because they could think of answers to everyday problems, you can see that this is true. We've put together a list of the 15 habits that they all have in common and that we think will help you get smarter every day. But before we go any further, make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss out on our daily videos that are both fun and helpful. Let's go. Number 1, ask questions. Hans-Georg Gadamer, a German philosopher, once said that people can only know things if they have questions. Most people don't ask questions because they think that will make them look dumb. But they couldn't be more wrong. To learn, you have to ask questions and find solutions. As kids, we are always very interested in everything. We are interested in everything around us. How come the sky's blue? So don't be afraid to ask questions if you don't understand something or aren't sure about something. Instead of watching TV at home, use the internet to learn about issues you're interested in but unsure about. Don't skip this simple but time-consuming task. It can make a big difference in how smart you are. Second, read books from a variety of categories. The brain is a very powerful tool, and reading is the mental training it needs to be in top shape. Thanks to smartphones, computers, e-readers, and of course the internet, we can read almost any book ever written right away. But we waste a lot of time on Facebook by mindlessly scrolling through our news feeds while watching funny videos of cats and dogs. It's a great way to relax and feel better, but you shouldn't spend all of your free time doing it. Reading a lot can help you not only stay up to date and teach your brain to work well, but it can also help you keep learning new things. Books, magazines that teach, and long pieces on websites are the best choices. Keep your own reading schedule, even if it's just reading a small part of a chapter every day. Your mind will get smarter as time goes on. Number 3, spend time with smart people. Friends can help you learn new things and keep your mind busy. We learn our values, beliefs, and ways of thinking from the people and places around us. Spending time with thinkers is a great way to feed your brain because there's always something to talk about and something to learn from them. You may still feel like you don't know enough, but even that has its good points. You are getting used to your new environment, and when you realize your flaws, your mind will force you to work hard to get better. They don't have to know more than you do. The important thing is that they always have something interesting to talk about and set the pace in whatever they do. Intellectuals already know how to feed their brains, so spending time with them is a great way to pick up both information and a way to learn. Take your time with number 4. Understand that we are all quickly distracted by other things and don't always get to the heart of the information we hear. Taking breaks to think about what you've learned is a very helpful habit, and it's an important part of learning. When you give yourself time to think, you can think about all the things that might have a direct or indirect effect on what you're doing. You can plan 3 to 5 steps ahead so you rarely run out of time. The same is true for talking to people. Smart people listen more and talk less, and they get a lot done with fewer words. Number 5, don't forget how often we exercise and how it makes us smarter. The brain and body are always working together to make sure that we have enough energy, and our physical health has direct effect on how we'll think. As you get smarter, don't forget that you should also get stronger, since the two go hand in hand. Physical activity also helps teach discipline, which is good for quickly picking up good habits and new knowledge. Try as hard as you can to fit in at least one type of exercise. You can go to a gym, buy running shoes, and go for a few mile runs, or just do yoga or other workouts at home. Anything works as long as you move around more. Number 6, make healthy eating a top priority. You must have heard that glucose is the best fuel for the brain. But the best fuel for your brain is a well-balanced meal full of the vitamins and minerals you need. The best way to improve brain function is to eat a diet with enough protein, a reasonable amount of carbs, and enough healthy fats. So your dinner table should have whole grains, lean meats, nuts, fish, and dairy items. It's also a good idea to get into the habit of eating just enough to feel full and to avoid junk food as much as possible, since it will make you tired and can cause health problems in the long run. Number 7, keeping a diary. Group studies have shown that writing about the day's events and thoughts for a few minutes makes the brain work better. Nothing gets you going and helps you learn more than your own successes and experiences. Take a few minutes every night to write down what you thought, what happened, and what you learned. This will give you a chance to look at the ideas, thoughts, and questions that come to you. Also, writing makes you a lot smarter overall because it can help you learn new ways to use words and talk to people. Since keeping a diary is a way to improve your language skills, it will raise your IQ if you learn new words and add to your vocabulary. Number 8, do something new, even if you don't think it will work. Practice helps you get better. Smart people don't worry about failing for no reason. They know the eternal truth that nothing can be learned without practice, so they are ready to take on the task. You can't learn a new solution if you don't try to solve problems with it. And so is learning to play the guitar if you don't try out those notes yourself. There are times when something that scared us a lot leads to something amazing or even spectacular. 9. Use and share what you've learned. You shouldn't study something if you don't plan to use what you learn. Smart people always use what they have learned, not because it will help them succeed, but because sharing their information makes them more valuable. Do you know how to read? Talk about it with other people who have read it. Sharing new ideas and information is the best way to help people remember and understand what they are learning. During such a talk, you'll find out more about the work and the lessons other people have learned from it. It doesn't matter if you share your ideas with family, friends, coworkers, members of a social network, group, or topical forum, because the act of sharing knowledge itself is what helps you learn more and come to better conclusions. 10th, be picky about what you put your time and energy into. Smart people usually don't have a lot of friends, but the ones they do have are usually very close and real. People you spend time with, like your friends and family, mirror who you are and what you need, which helps you learn more about yourself and the world around you. When you're careful about what you pay attention to, you can do your best work without being distracted by things that aren't important. Smart people find it easy to figure out what's most important. Think of it like a mental list. It's a lot easier to stick to the next thing on your list than to try to do everything at once. Number 11, take short breaks at work. In this age of total digitalization, we get so much information that our brains actually burn out. Not always is it a good thing to know what's going on. So even a short break is sometimes needed to keep being creative and keep your mind from getting tired. We start to think quickly and naturally after we've been working for a long time, whether it's a few hours, a few weeks, or even a few months, because we don't have breaks or quiet times to think. The same things apply to reading. After a few hours of reading, you will learn more if you take a break. You can take a short walk, meditate, work out, or do some chores around the house during this quiet time. Just take a break in your mind. Number 12, learn how to order your devices and instant messages at home and at work. People who like keeping things in order are usually smart. Having things that aren't in order, getting messages all the time, and having a lot of junk on your desk and in work folders all take your mind off of tasks and makes you less productive. The less chaos there is in the place that you live and work, the better your mind will work. Train yourself to put things away right away. Make several folders on your desktop that all have the same theme. Don't save individual files there. Number 13, pay attention to how other people act. Smart people are usually understanding in their own way and think about things like what drives their coworkers, how they see the job, and how much help they need. Try to understand what other people are going through. It will take a lot of mental work, but in the long run, you'll have better social skills and be able to make the right choices, especially when other people are involved. Number 14, pay close attention. Even though you can see everything, do you really look at it? Many of us watch the world without question, focusing mostly on things that touch us right now. Instead, take a few minutes every day to look around you. Look at the normal, everyday things that happen around you with a critical eye. On a global, interpersonal, and social level, everyone should do this. But given the way things are right now, it's a good habit that's not very popular. When you look away from yourself and pay attention to the things around you, you might be surprised what you find out about your surroundings. Try it out. Number 15, sleep whenever you feel like it. Studies show that giving our bodies more time to rest helps our brains work better in terms of memory, focus, and attention. It was also found that people who usually go to bed late and wake up early pay less attention than those who sleep longer. While you sleep, your brain works on what it learned the day before. Getting enough rest helps your memory and gets rid of amyloid and tau proteins, which are linked to Alzheimer's disease plaques. Different people need different amounts of sleep, even though there's no set amount of time that everyone should sleep. The most important thing for you to do is to rest when your body tells you to. Habits are easy to do without much thought, so you should make these things habits. Some of these behaviors might seem strange at first, but if you keep doing them, you'll get used to them, and it won't feel weird. And with that, we're done for the day, but we've got something extra for you, so don't leave. Playing games that make you think is number 16. Playing games that make you think creatively, use your ideas, and solve problems that are always changing is a great way to spend your time. They make you feel good and sharpen your mind at the same time. A study done in 2019 found that people who played one or more games that made them think often did better mentally than those who didn't play games that made them think. Mental games like crosswords and Sudoku can be played both by kids and adults of any age, but the most important game is life. And if you want to know how to win it, we've got you covered.